about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments. There will be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on in Thornton Township.
When can we address you?
It's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it come with the seat. That's what people not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
Y'all, the feds really said if Tiffany won't come to us, we'll just get everyone around her to start talking. And guess what? It's working like a charm. Because tell me why Tiffany Henyard's baby daddy is now allegedly in custody and already singing like a canary. This whole investigation is proving that birds of a feather really do flock together. And Tiffany's flock, nasty doesn't even begin to cover it. Nearly everyone around her is tied up in some kind of federal case involving fraud and theft. It's absolutely wild. Apparently, Tiffany's baby daddy didn't even need much convincing before he throws her straight under the bus. Honestly, you really be your own people. Then again, someone's got to be around to look after their kid, right? Because at this rate, it seems like Tiffany might be heading for an extended timeout, if you catch my drift. But how does her baby daddy even fit into all of this, and why is he being dragged into the mix? Let's break it all down. So, if you've been wondering how Tiffany Henyard managed to stay under the radar for so long, despite all the shady stuff she's pulled as mayor of Dalton, the answer is crystal clear now. She surrounded herself with people just as crooked as she is. It's like she built a whole army of fall guys to take the heat for her mess. After Tiffany's questionable activities started drawing the attention of investigators, she pulled a full-blown vanishing act, leaving everyone scratching their heads and asking, where is she? Allegedly, Tiffany thought she could lay low until the heat died down and then waltz back into town like nothing ever happened. But here's where she miscalculated. She may have thought she was untouchable, but one by one, the people she counted on to protect her started flipping on her. He seems like he wanted to diminish her or something dramatic like that. And now, it looks like she's completely out of options. Even her man didn't wait long to turn on her. He saw the writing on the wall and decided he wasn't going down for her. The second he got a glimpse of the cell he'd be living in if he stayed loyal, he started singing faster than a karaoke night at the bar. Out of the loop, Tiffany's boyfriend is Kamal Woods, and let's just say his resume is as shady as hers. He's listed in her divorce papers as her boyfriend, but his role in her professional life is way bigger than that. And no, Tiffany didn't just stop at giving her boyfriend a cozy title. First, she made him the director of her cancer foundation. Yes, the same foundation that's allegedly funded by taxpayer money. The CARE Foundation, which was supposedly created to help breast cancer patients, looks more like a PR stunt to boost Tiffany's image than an actual charitable organization. The drama doesn't stop there. The very first day the foundation became official, it received a generous donation of $110,000. But not from any wealthy donors or organizations. Nope, that money came straight from the people of Dalton. And here's the kicker. The people of Dalton didn't approve that donation. Tiffany apparently just decided to funnel public funds into her foundation as if it were her personal piggy bank. She even used township money to fund a trip out of town to promote the foundation. Everything for that parade, the trucks, bicycles, DJ, photographer, drones, meals, hotel rooms, you name it, was allegedly paid for with taxpayer dollars. And it doesn't stop there. Staff working for the foundation, including Kamal, are reportedly getting their paychecks from public funds too. But wait, there's more. Not only did Tiffany make Kamal the director of her foundation, but she also lined up a sweet side gig for him at Thornton Township. The salary? Over $100,000. Money that most folks in Dalton haven't seen in years. Things were going smoothly until the feds hit Tiffany with a subpoena demanding every single record from all her businesses. And guess what? Kamal's name was all over it. So, the FBI wanted to get down to the bottom of things, demanding every single record from Tiffany's businesses, her political fund, and even her so-called charity foundation. But hold up, that's not the end of it. The deeper this investigation digs, the more people are coming out of the woodwork to expose Tiffany for what she really is. Honestly, she should have seen this coming a mile away because the trouble with her administration didn't just start now. It's been brewing since day one. Why? Let's rewind to barely 6 months into her time as the supervisor of Thornton Township. By then, the cracks in her so-called dream team were already showing. Remember how Tiffany had this whole squad she ran with during the election? Her lineup included candidates for trustee and village clerk positions. Out of her picks, Kiana Baylor and Jason House made it as trustees, while Allison Key took the role of village clerk. But instead of being a united front, that dream team quickly turned into the nightmare team. Why? Because they weren't about to let Tiffany get away with her shady antics. Tiffany had it all planned out. She thought she could control them like puppets and run the township however she pleased, but baby, they weren't having it. Just 6 months into her tenure, they were already calling her out for mismanaging funds and running an organization with zero transparency. By 2022, they'd had enough of Tiffany's nonsense. She showed no sign of accountability, no matter how bad things got. That's when the trustees decided to team up.
But it saddens my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big bingo paying the staff. I don't see the staff on here. I think that's a very important bill to pay. So do y'all want to amend that and add the staff bills? Because I don't see them in none of these bills. And then we don't never do agenda like this. So all this fluff you selling to the public is crap.
With the village board to sue her for major conflicts of interest. They wanted to put a stop to her self-serving ways once and for all. But of course, Tiffany wasn't going down without a fight. She pushed back hard, accusing them of stirring the pot and trying to derail her so-called efforts to make Dalton great. Talk about deflection at its finest. I only brought it because it's questionable. But the Jackson Five did do the worst to make it clear. Tiffany started locking the trustees out of their offices, thinking she could intimidate them into backing down. But guess what? That didn't scare them one bit. The trustees were dead set on getting rid of Tiffany, no matter what it took. So what did they do? They held their meetings without her. Now, some of y'all might be thinking, huh? Were the trustees being extra? But let me tell you, it wasn't just about the drama. According to some residents, there were so many things in Dalton that needed fixing. The roads were falling apart, the houses were in disrepair, and the police force wasn't even running properly. But what did Tiffany do? She kept spending taxpayer money on the most ridiculous things. Billboards, first-class trips, expensive hotel rooms at places like the Four Seasons, DJs, photographers, and her very own personal army of security guards. The list goes on and on. Before Tiffany became mayor, Dalton was a community-focused place. It was all about coming together for the greater good of the people. But now, it's all about Tiffany. Any event that doesn't somehow serve her ego or boost her image gets canceled. Take, for example, a local yearly event that used to bring people together. This year, the event was supposed to happen, just like always, but Tiffany refused to grant the permit to use the public park. Why? She didn't want the event to compete with one of her own events happening just a couple of miles away. And get this, she went as far as placing massive cement blocks at the park's entrance so nobody could get in. Can you believe that? Canceling a community event just to host her own is wild, but sadly, it's just another Tuesday for Tiffany. And as crazy as that sounds, it's nothing compared to some of the other things she's done. So it's really no shock that the trustees and even her inner circle started turning on her. One trustee, Carmen Carlisle, recently blew the whistle on Tiffany, released a statement saying that for the past 2 years, Tiffany had been manipulating employees, vendors, and residents using her position to expand her influence.
In a separate FBI investigation.
Because definitely we will have questions.
Mayor Henyard is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack, because she is.
Bo Brindley is Henyard's criminal defense attorney, hired after the FBI served subpoenas on the village and township earlier this year. He blames Henyard's top aide, Keith Freeman.
Keith Freeman made the decision on how these funds are being used. Keith Freeman is going on these trips. You understand, this is a new mayor. This is someone that is new to this job.
But she never thought, hey, I shouldn't fly first class. I shouldn't stay at the Four Seasons.
If there was a problem with any of that, if that's not how you're supposed to do it, she relied on Freeman to tell her. He's telling her this is how we do things. The mayor didn't spend any of this money. Keith Freeman made decisions and reported to the mayor, this is what we're doing. The mayor trusted him until she...
All while projecting a false image of success that was funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and Dalton. Carmen didn't hold back, calling Tiffany out for her total lack of accountability and conscience when it came to her actions against employees and taxpayers alike. But Tiffany isn't going down without a fight. She's out here claiming she did what she thought was best for Dalton, and if there's anyone to blame, it's her right-hand man, Keith Freeman. Oh, and by the way, Keith isn't exactly in the clear either. He's facing fraud charges in a separate FBI investigation. Guess the plot just keeps thickening, huh? As wild as all this sounds, there are still people in Dalton who are fully backing Tiffany. They say she's made politics more relatable and even fun, and they don't believe she's as bad as people are making her out to be. Every time Tiffany posts something on social media, it blows up. At this point, she's like a celebrity. But even though she's got her fan club, the conversation still keeps going. One person said, if this woman doesn't end up in prison for all the blatant stuff she's done right in front of everyone while they've been calling her out the whole time, then there's no justice left in Illinois. Another person chimed in saying, the fact that this investigation is still going on is ridiculous. It's a slap in the face to the people. She should already be behind bars. So now I want to hear from you. Are you Team Tiffany? Or do you agree with those saying she needs to go on a long-term adult timeout? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to click here to watch another very messy video you won't want to miss.